Okay, how's it going? I haven't made a haul video in 2 months, I don't think. I haven't really been collecting movies. Haven't really been watching movies, but the movies I have collected here are kind of just ones that I have on my list from the last, 5 years of adding stuff down from my childhood and stuff. Because I'm telling you, I just don't care anymore. Like, it's just movies, actors, the messages and all that. I'm over it. And when I watch a movie now, I can't help but think about all the stuff behind it and all the propaganda and all these woke dumb actors that think they're so much smarter than the rest of us. I'm tired of it. This year's Oscars really put the nail in the coffin for me when Michael B. Jordan won for simply being a man of color, and because a man who had Tourette's made a comment that he literally cannot control. So we gave him an award for best actor in a movie that is slop, anti-white slop. So there is my little rant. I'm done ranting. And I'll just talk about the stuff that I've gathered, some hockey cards, some collectibles, and the few movies I've gotten here, a few video games. So let's get into it. Cheaper by the dozen. It's one of my favorite childhood movies. I used to watch this all the time. This is probably the first Steve Martin movie I can remember watching, and growing up, Steve Martin was like a god in my house, like my dad holds him to a real high regard. And, obviously Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and All of Me, all these classic movies that I grew up watching, Three Amigos. But this is, I just always think of this when I think of Steve Martin. It's a good cast. The kids were well cast. It's a wholesome movie. I hate using that word because wholesome is just like an overused term now in every, facet of the imagination. It's wholesome. This is wholesome. That overweight guy is wholesome. This is wholesome. It's a nice family unit. And it's just really interesting to see how a house like this would, be managed when you have fucking 12 people in it. Or I guess 12 children, plus 2 parents, so 14 plus a dog. It's too much. The sequel, I don't really like, but this one, I had to own it. I could have grabbed the sequel, it was there, but it's in pretty good shape too. It's barely been watched, so of course I had no issue adding this. It's one of those movies that I have fever dreams, like scenes from this. I'll think about it like the "I'm just a kid" scene, where I'm always thinking in my head like, why is that song so prevalent? And it's probably because of that scene where they all go to school together at their new school. I'm just a kid, I know that's nothing. It's just probably one of the first movies I can really remember. We had this on VHS, and I watched all the time. So it's nice to own it. And, it's something fun to throw on every few years in the background or something, so it's nice to own it. Sleeping Beauty. I've never seen it, but I have collected pretty much every old Disney movie from the olden days, and this was the one I needed. I need Snow White and Little Mermaid, and then that's pretty much it. I have all the Disney movies I could ever want. So yeah, I can't really make too much of a comment about it because I've never seen it. I don't even really know what it's about. I just know that she falls asleep a lot, I think. I really don't know. And I don't know if I'm ever going to watch it, but you can see $9.99. It's like, you may as well add that, right? Surf's Up. This is one of my favorite animated movies that I saw for the first time fully as an adult. I used to see this. I've mentioned it a few times. I used to go to an orthodontist when I was a kid. And instead of it just being a boring orthodontist, this orthodontist had a movie theater in his clinic. So you could go sit in the movie theater while you're waiting for your name to be called. And this was one of those movies. This, Napoleon Dynamite, stuff like Madagascar, it was on quite often. So I got my fix in there, but I never watched the movie to its completion. Chicken Joe might be one of my favorite side characters ever. I fucking love John Heder. He's hilarious. And just as this character in particular, he was perfectly cast. Cody!
Cody! I know he's out here. Feel it in my nuggets.
It's one of my favorite scenes ever. Not just in this, but ever. And the fact that they have the camera crew following him around, getting hit by arrows and shit. It's hilarious.
See you guys there. I gotta get going. Nothing.
And Shia LaBeouf, man, he was on a reign of terror back between 2005 and 2011-ish. The guy was in everything, man. You just look down the list. Even the first time I watched Constantine, I was like, he's in this too? Holy fuck, dude. Every movie back then, he was in it. And it's kind of a shame that he's fallen off, and all the stuff going on with him personally. I wish nothing but the best for Shia LaBeouf. He's a good Christian guy, so I wish my boy nothing but the best, and God bless you, Shia. Modern Warfare 3. I was never crazy about Modern Warfare 3. My best friend, this is like his favorite Call of Duty, and even back in 2011, I got this for Christmas when this came out, and obviously over time I had sold it or gotten rid of it because I got rid of most of my Xbox games when I sold my first original 2 consoles, but I never loved it. It was just MW2 basically all over again, and even back then I was aware of that. I have no issue with that because MW2 is probably the best multiplayer ever. It is the best multiplayer ever besides Modern Warfare, you know, the original. It's incredible. So they basically gave us more of what we already loved. So I don't have a problem in that way, but it just feels like there wasn't enough new to justify this being like a big self-made game of its own. It just felt like MW2.5. But I love survival in this game. I have had countless nights staying up with my friends playing survival and just having the best time ever. So, not going to sit here and slander it. Still probably a top 5 to top 10 Call of Duty. Well, not probably. It is top 10, but top 5. It's on that cusp for me. And I just wanted to own it, have it, and that's basically that. Should probably take this sticker off the front because it's quite distracting and right in the middle of the case. I've been looking for this for a few years now because this was like the childhood holy grail video game. When I go to my grandparents' house and play on the PS2 that my uncle had, this was the game. Gran Turismo 4. I played the first 2. I had a PS1, so I already had figured that. You know, I already loved Gran Turismo, the one they're playing in the first Fast and Furious, in the first race, the dude crashing in to the side wall there. That is the game I played the most until I was probably 4 years old. So this was like, I needed to play it. And every time I played it, it was like, this game looks real. This was so far ahead of its time. There's no game on PS2 that looks this good, in my opinion. This is the best looking PS2 game. So just for that alone, I needed it. $10, hell yeah, and it's in really good shape. And I'm going to put some hours into this, sooner or later, because my PS2 is sitting here collecting dust. I need to have a reason to play it. I don't have too many games on there that are worth playing. I'm going to start collecting more of them, but I am excited to play this. And after this, Gran Turismo was never really the same. You know, there's a couple good ones after this, but this was the crown jewel. This was the one that everybody talks super highly of and fondly of. While I'm at it, these 2 games are right here, so I may as well, because I grabbed these over the last few weeks. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I bought this for the zombies. And COD World War II. I bought this for the zombies. And so far, I've played, 10 and plus hours of each game. I like Infinite Warfare a lot more, which is crazy, because I hated this game on launch. I played the beta, and I hated it. Never bought it, just to play it at my friends' houses and stuff, but I never bought it on my own, and COD 4 Remaster was incredible. I can't, no denying that. And World War II I just never liked, and I still don't like the zombies in this game that much. Final Reich is fine. I'll probably play it every now and again, but I'm never going to grind it. I can see myself grinding Infinite Warfare. Like, Zombies in Spaceland paused right now as I'm making this, and I'm going to continue playing it after I'm done making this video. It's a fun map, and I'm probably going to grab some of the DLCs. But the multiplayer, I've just never really been a multiplayer guy, if I'm being honest. You know, if my friends were playing it, I'd hop in. If it was Black Ops 1 or 2 or 3, I played the multiplayer a lot. But the other games, I would just casually play. Like, MW2 is probably the only Infinity War game that I'm multiple prestiged in, so I should tell you everything you need to know. I said Infinity War, I meant Infinity Ward. So many names to remember, so little time. Herbie Fully Loaded. This was one of my favorite movies as a kid. Is it disc loose? It sounds like it. Rewatching it though, this is a feminist wet dream, this movie. It's not bad. I'm whatever, it's harmless, but it's just, why does every movie have to have a female main character in a franchise that females do not care about? Women don't care about Herbie, and I get they're probably trying to make little girls interested, but they just never will be. It's not for them. These original Herbie movies, which I grabbed when I grabbed this, these are for boys. I used to watch this, especially Herbie Goes Bananas. That was one of my favorite movies growing up. I don't know why. I do not know. It was the worst one, but it was my favorite one for some reason. And so it's nice to have the whole Herbie collection now. Not that they're like fantastic or anything, but even Herbie Rides Again, I watched that quite a bit. And Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo. I enjoy that movie. It's the original, The Love Bug. I'd probably watch the least of all of them. And I rewatched this, recently, and it's time to rewatch these at some point. But owning them definitely helps, because now it gives me an excuse to watch them whenever I'm in a Herbie mood. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, that scene in Fully Loaded, the jump scene, that is a great scene. And that's my introduction to Van Halen when I was 4 years old. And I fell in love then, never looked back. Night at the Roxbury. This was the first Will Ferrell movie I ever saw. Besides Elf, maybe, but I was like 4 years old, and I got this when I was, 4 for Christmas. I don't know how or why my parents thought that was a good idea, but I used to watch this every day. There was a little phase I went through when I was in grade 1, so I was 6, 7. 6, 7. I hate you. I know someone out there thought it. I hate you.
Move away from me! Get away from me! I hate you! I hate all of you!
And I would watch this every day, and it built a lot of my vocabulary up, not knowing that these guys are cringy. So I started acting like them, thinking they were cool. Like, I thought Chris Kattan was cool when I was 6 years old, and then I grew up and realized he's the biggest clown in this movie ever.
No, anyways. You guys want to make out or what?
And he plays it so well. And Will Ferrell, too. I think it's just a funny movie all the way around. It's a must-watch, especially if you're into those 90s goofy comedies. This is right up there. This is right up there for me anyways. It's not, fantastic. It's not going to win no awards, but the Baby Don't Hurt Me, it gets stuck in your head, and then every time you hear that song play, you start to do the little head shake like they do. So that's a must-watch at least once. Over the Top. It's not the best Stallone movie. Don't get me wrong. The whole concept is so dumb with this movie, but it's so fun, and the action's great, and Stallone's in his prime here. Like, yeah, obviously he's in his 40s, but prime in terms of like this was his peak. Early 80s to the late 80s, I'd say, maybe even early 90s because Cliffhanger. But this was him at his peak. And the whole father-son dynamic is just really good in this movie. He's winning arm wrestling matches to win the custody of his son. It's a very good message, and obviously it's very 1980s. A lot of baby oil and a lot of muscles and vascularity. So I'd say check this out. If you've never seen it, probably don't need to own it, but I'm a big Stallone fan. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He's one of the only celebrities that hasn't gone completely fucking mental, and I'll always appreciate him for that. Hobbs and Shaw. I was doing a whole marathon of Fast and Furious, and I needed this because I couldn't find it on any streaming. I got like an hour into this, and I just hated everything about it. It's so much worse than I even remember. It's so cringy, and the dialogue, it just feels like it's written by someone who wrote Deadpool. Like, it's just not funny. None of it lands for me at all. It didn't even back in 2019 or 18, whenever this came out. So this is just going to collect dust, unfortunately. It's just not, it's not a worthy entry. It's not like Fast and Furious is some amazing franchise, but the whole Mike Hawksmall scene was just pure cringe. Like, I was truly going, oh, like, it's funny if you're 12 years old, but...
My Coxmall.
I go by Michael.
For Fast and Furious, dude, it just doesn't work. The Watch. Now, if Vince Vaughn wasn't in this, I don't think I'd care. He's so funny in this movie that I can just ignore the other three in this and enjoy Vince Vaughn as this weird dad who's overprotective but also kind of cool. I really enjoy his character. And even, obviously Jonah Hill as Franklin's quite funny. Ben Stiller, man. It's these types of movies where it shows me anyways he's never been funny. You can see him now, and it's just reaffirming what I already knew. Besides Zoolander, which I think he's completely walked all over by Owen Wilson in that movie, I can't think of a movie where he's actually funny. It's always the guys around him that are carrying the movie, so... No different here. And the Jamarcus guy, like, I don't even know what he's... It's just a diversity hire. He's not funny. And, you know, it's interesting. There's some decent visual effects for 2012. And I always love me a movie in Costco. I've said it when I talked about Employee of the Month. I love a movie set in a Costco. I don't know why. It's just how it is. And the last movie is Harry and the Hendersons, which I grew up loving this movie. And the whole concept of Bigfoot has never been lost on me. It's still one of the most fascinating subjects in my life. Every time that I watch Bigfoot videos or documentaries, and it just reignites that love that I had for it growing up when I saw the Patterson-Gimlin footage when I was 4 or 5. I remember my dad showing me, and it was like, whoa. So there is a possibility that these things are real. And obviously I went through that stage when I was a teenager, and I don't believe in anything. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in Bigfoot. I know better because I'm a teenager. And then you start to, you know, think about it when you get older, and you're like, it's not impossible. And the amount of hunters you hear to talk about these things is crazy. I had no idea. And tribes, the Native American tribes that had their different versions. The different countries have different Bigfoots. You know, the Maui, the Yeti, the Swamp Thing. Like the Swamp, is it Swamp Thing or Swamp Man, Swamp Creature, whatever? The Skunk Ape. That's what it's called, the Skunk Ape. I'm getting mistaken with the character Swamp Thing. It's pretty bad, but there's many variations all over the world, and I will die believing in Bigfoot. And that footage, which I will show because it's the most conclusive evidence you will ever get of Bigfoot, I'm sorry, that is a Bigfoot. Or whatever you want to call it. A Sasquatch, whatever. It's not us, and it ain't no gorilla. So, I'll do this first, because I don't even know how I'm going to show this properly, but the Lego DeLorean for Back to the Future. And it comes with a little Marty and Doc. I just grabbed Marty because I didn't feel like grabbing both of them, and it was already a hassle trying to get this over here. It looks pretty good. I think it was $40. I grabbed it at Walmart. It was on sale for like $35, $30. It was a few dollars off, so I just thought, fuck it. It's pretty cool. I got a pretty decent sized collection of Back to the Future memorabilia, so I figured why not add this to that. I'm a big fan, and you know, nothing wrong with adding something pretty cool like this. It even has the license plate, the out of time. I love that shit. So there's that. I will show some hockey cards. Not that anybody gives a shit about hockey cards. We're not going to sit here, and I'm not going to dwell on them for too long, but yeah, we got some Nick Suzuki, the captain of the team I cheer for, the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, there's their blue reverse retros from 2021. I don't think I do have one of him as captain. There we go. That's 2024. We've got Cole/Goal Caulfield. Will he hit 50 this year? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Love Cole Caulfield, though. Best goal scorer for the Canadiens in my lifetime. Yuri Slavkovsky, first overall in 2022. Loving what he's turning into. Power forward beast. And last but not least at all, because Lane is the man. Lane Hudson. Lane Train. I love Lane Hudson. So there's just some cards. Added a few more to my collection. Dude was nice enough to throw in a Connor McDavid with the pack, the one pack that I got. So thanks, brah. And I got a few others here. Like he threw in a Jake Evans. He's a fourth liner. Caden Gooley. You know, depends on the night. One night he's great. The next, not so much. But big fan of ghouls. And last few things. We've got Lego Suki, Too Fast, Too Furious, or S2000. I don't know when I'm building this, if I ever will. It's the same as the Skyline that I have up there. I might just let it collect dust and, you know, maybe build it in the future or sell it. But I just don't have anywhere to put these Legos. You know, if I build them, where are they going to go? I don't really have anywhere. I'm running out of room in general. Like, you can see behind me, that shelf, if you can see it, it's just already stuffed. Those are stuffed. My Fast and Furious shelf is just packed, so it's like, what am I even going to do? But, you know, I might get around to building this. I do like Suki's S2000. Slap that ass!
Woo! Smack that ass!
And last but not least, Brian's Supra from the first Fast and Furious. I already have it in the old Jada box, But I really wanted this with him in there, the little Brian figurine. And it doesn't really look like Brian, I guess, but whatever. This Supra just looks so good. Some of these Jada models, I've said it, hit and miss, but this one, they fucking nailed this car, man. You can see the other angle. You got the Targa top, the back. The only one I need now is Dom and his Charger. I already got the Han RX-7 with Han. Now I just need the Charger. But obviously, this is the most iconic car in the franchise besides the Skyline or the Eclipse. But this is just pure Fast and Furious. I fucking love this car so much. So that is that. I won't keep your time for too much longer. I hope you enjoyed the little video I made here, and I'll be back in a month or two to talk about some more stuff that I've collected. Take care.